These are the three biggest risks of getting into short-term rentals / Airbnb VRBO in 2024. I'm going to share with you, in my opinion, what are the three biggest mistakes you can make right now if you're looking to get an Airbnb or get a short-term rental set up. Okay, my name is Investor Mike. Thanks for being here, guys. Take a second to subscribe to the channel. I come to you every day. I'm #1 in the country for what I do. Okay, I teach people how to get rental arbitrage properties. I teach you how to do it fast, and I teach you how to do it effectively. If I was getting into Airbnb in 2024, I can make it certain that the things I'm going to share with you are going to help you save time, money, and energy by doing it the right way. So let's get right into the show. #1 riskiest way to get into Airbnb right now, or short-term rentals, if you will, is that you have no one helping you. And let me tell you why this is a problem. When you are getting into Airbnb, remember that there are no requirements. To get into Airbnb, as long as you have a heart rate, you're watching me right now, you can be an Airbnb host. What that means is that every single person has no education, every person that's brand new, you're 18 years old, you need no real estate experience, you need nothing matters. You're in Airbnb because you say, I want to be an Airbnb host. And because of that, the failure rate is exceptionally high. 8 or 9 people out of 10 fail in their first year. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you because I love you guys and I want you to win. Okay, most people are not going to share the real data because they're trying to offer and sell different things, right? Well, what I'm telling you is this. It takes the right information and the right person helping you. And if nobody is helping you, a coach or a mentor, and I'm not saying me, okay? If you guys want to decide what works with me, great. But I wanted to put this video out here because if you get involved in Airbnb, #1, you can just get in, and a lot of people just pick properties and have no clue what they're doing. They have no clue about the area, they have no clue about the marketing, they have no clue about the property numbers, they don't know anything. They don't know how to do the cleanings, they don't know how to set up if it's an out-of-state property. They don't know how to use software, and so they just guess. And what happens is you hope and pray that guests are gonna show up, and ultimately what happens is you end up coming out of pocket every single month to make the rent and the utility payments, whereas the flip side of that should be you making money each month. But the problem is nobody researches and does the right due diligence and has no person helping them, right? So they're just jumping into a business blindsided and then just hoping and praying that guests are going to show up, and it just doesn't work like that. This is a business. This is not a hobby. Okay, if you want a hobby, go play pool. So what I'm going to teach you guys is you need to have somebody help you, just for the accountability standpoint. You know why most people fail at their New Year's resolution? Because usually it takes less than 20 days from January 1st, the beginning of the year, before someone actually stops their goal. They make this big goal. I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna stop smoking, I'm gonna get in better shape, I want to exercise, I'm gonna make more money, right? Why is it after 20 days after January, most people fail? The reason is because they've made this big, arduous goal and nobody's there to hold them accountable to it, right? So it's the support and the community and the accountability that helps people push, because most people, when left to their own devices, will stay comfortable. My job is to push you and shove you to make sure that you're doing the right thing every day so you can be one step closer getting your first Airbnb rental in 30 days or less. That's what I'm gonna tell you right now, okay? #2, and that is if you're gonna get into Airbnb, one huge mistake is that you guys are spending a ton of money on cleaners, okay? This is a huge mistake because your profit is being eaten into because you're paying cleaning companies this crazy amount per clean versus hiring somebody for $20 an hour. Let me give you an example. If you have less than 3 properties, you should be looking to hire somebody for 17, 18, 19, 20 at the very most per hour to clean versus a cleaning company that is going to get paid per job around $200. So let me give you an example. Let's say you have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. That property should take about 3 hours to clean. If it takes 3 hours to clean and they're getting paid $20 an hour, that's $60, okay? Same thing is if you go online and you find a cleaner for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, they're gonna charge you $200 plus to do that job. So you're paying $60 to a person you hired that clean a property, and a company $200. That's $140 savings on every clean. Imagine how many per month. If your occupancy is filled, let's say 5, 6, 7 times a month, you just saved over $1,000 by having your own cleaning person versus paying somebody per job. Okay, so that's #2, and this is gonna save you money. Why does that help? Because you can stay in the game much longer. right? If you're not making profit, people are getting out of the game right now because they're like, it doesn't make sense for me to stay in the game, okay? I'm quitting Airbnb because of all the people that don't know how to run a business, right? And they're saying Airbnb bust, Airbnb's gone. You know when Airbnb's gone? When Brian Chesky, the owner, makes a big announcement worldwide and says Airbnb is done. We are in 163 countries and it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. You tell me that Airbnb is done. I don't think so. Unlikely. So let's say this. When that comes out, I'll believe it. Until then, it's clickbait. People are looking to get views. People are looking to stir people up because typically people attract to the negative stuff. I'm done because I'm done with people lying and BSing people online. Of course I'm not done. I do this every day. I breathe, sleep, and eat short-term rentals in Airbnb. And I help students get the fastest results on this planet, okay? But I hate when people lie and they don't tell the truth. So what I'm gonna do for you is share with you everything transparently from the beginning so you know exactly what you're getting into. Is this business a high success rate? No. Do most people fail? Yes. There are two reasons. Property and market research, we're gonna get into that, and getting a landlord to say yes. This is rental arbitrage. This is a method where we're gonna rent a property from the landlord and then we're gonna get their permission to put it on Airbnb. We're not buying any property. My entire portfolio is rentals. Now, number 3 is, which leads me right into this, is for you to take a second and subscribe to the channel because I'm not gonna BS you. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me tell you about picking the wrong location. Let's say that your Uncle Joe says, I have a property that you can put on Airbnb. Great, Mr. Joe, appreciate it. Family member, right? So now you're like, all right, awesome, I got a property. You put it on Airbnb. And now guess what? Joe's looking for $2,000 a month, okay? And he's a family member. And you brought in 5 guests for the following month after you got the property listed. You charged everybody that came in about $200, for example. You brought a total of $1,000 in. You owe Joe, your uncle, $2,000 plus utilities. Where do you think the other $1,000 comes from to give Joe so you can have a relationship with your uncle, not screw him over? Yeah, you guessed it, right out of your pocket. Now let me ask you a question. Can you see why over 80 to 90% of people fail in the first year? Because they didn't check the numbers, they didn't check the market. They just said, Uncle Joe has a property, let's put it on Airbnb because I've been in Philadelphia and I know that Philadelphia is a good market and I know it'll be good on Airbnb. That is incorrect, guys. You cannot base it on location if you don't do the numbers. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. You think that every property in Jacksonville, Florida is good for Airbnb? No. There are places that I don't want to walk without a bulletproof vest on. There are places that I don't want to walk at midnight without a bulletproof vest. That doesn't mean that it's a good Airbnb area just because it's in a city that's profitable. It's in a city that does well. The answer is the right zip code in the markets, right? I'm in Jacksonville. So there are places in zip codes that are great and there are zip codes that are bad. And so what I always recommend when you're finding the property is to make sure you have the right software. If you take anything out of this video, I'm going to tell you one thing that's the most important thing. Whether you and I work together or not, you got this most valuable thing right here. Do not get into Airbnb without paid software. That would be like you literally getting into a car without brakes. It's treacherous. Guys, listen to what I'm saying. The most important thing I can tell you is that paid software will tell you how the market is doing. It'll tell you the market grade, the occupancy level, how much you can charge per night, how are my students doing, what is the area doing, right? And so you'll know, if I'm gonna get into this business, wouldn't it be better to know what you can make per month versus getting into the business and going, oh, it would be nice. Like you get into the business and then you don't know anything about the numbers. And so now you're coming out of pocket every month to pay rent and utilities. And now you built, you burn a relationship with Uncle Joe. And this is just a little example. Most people, they get online, they pick an area, they don't check the numbers. So the most important thing is to get paid software with airdna.co. Now my students get that for free, but that's where you can go get the most expensive software. Do not get anything that's free. Free are gonna have skewed numbers and it's just gonna be like skewed all the way through. And it's just not how we run a business. So if you're gonna do it right, get the right software, and that way you know the numbers ahead of time before putting it on Airbnb, okay? Just smart business, common sense. Now, let's talk about the right locations, okay? Let me give you a couple cities. How about Sedona, Arizona? How about Jacksonville, Florida? How about Nashville, Tennessee? How about Chattanooga? How about Waco, Texas? Fort Lauderdale, Santa Clarita, California. These are great markets right now that are good properties for Airbnb. What are the 4 H's? If I'm going to pick a property in that area, I want to be around the 4 H's. I want to be around hills, hospitals, hotels, and H2O. That means that their property has a ocean view, lake view, or actually at the property you have a pool or a hot tub. These properties are always going to do better that has water at them versus a property that doesn't, okay? So property and market research are the number one reason most people fail, and then followed by number 2 is how are we going to get a landlord to even say yes? If we have no credibility, we have no background, we have no Airbnbs, we have no references. It is very difficult. It takes a lot of time, energy, and phone calls to get a landlord to be like, all right, cool, let's do it, okay? And then you finally find a landlord, it's like, let's do it, right? And then you guys get the property up there and you didn't even know the numbers. Just because a landlord says yes, does that mean the numbers are good? This is what decimates most people. Do it right, do the research first, have the software, have somebody holding you accountable, showing you how to do it, and then you can get into this business and go, okay, cool, now I feel good getting this property because I saw the numbers, I know what it potentially could do, I see everybody else in the area that's doing well, and I don't know why I would not do as well, right? So that's the way to get into this business. I'm gonna leave you with this. This is a bonus. Furnished properties versus unfurnished. If I just saved you $3,000 to $5,000 right now, I will tell you that if you're gonna find a rental, look for a furnished property versus unfurnished. It will save you the time, the energy, and the money of going out to spend on buying new couches, TVs, beds, right, night tables, all the stuff in the property if it's already there. Now, you might want to go in there and freshen it up. You might want to go in there, put new pictures on the wall. You might want to say maybe grandma's pictures on the first when you walk in, right? You may want to put new sheets on the bed. You might want to put different pillows. But the meat and potatoes and the bones are already there. That's going to save you thousands of dollars on the front end. And this is why people do well. These 4 steps right here. Okay. Number 1, you should have somebody helping you. Okay. Especially learning the software and helping you with the software so you understand it, and accountability. Number 2, you should hire your own cleaning person versus a per job with a company. Number 3, make sure you pick the right location in the right market and be around the 4 H's. Hills, hospitals, hotels, and H2O. Doesn't mean you have to be around all 4, but pick one of those and you should do well on Airbnb. And lastly, make sure that you pick a property that's already furnished, and you'll do a lot better and save you the time, energy, and so you can get into it and not have those expenses on the front end, which means you can become in the black, meaning making money quicker than waiting until you pay off all the furniture and the expenses on the front end before you can actually make a profit. That's what I would do, and that's why I became number 1, because I help you with each and everything that I just shared with you, so to take that off your plate so you have that peace of mind and I can mitigate the risks of you doing it the wrong way. If you guys want help, put Airbnb in the comments. I'll reach out to you directly. Let's rock and roll. God bless, be safe, and I'll see you guys on the inside. Let's roll.